Well, season's over.
No.
Welcome back to the Jags Japan postgame show. Week 2, Jaguars lose 31-27. Pretty close to my preview score. I think I had it 35-27. Now, obviously, no one foresaw that Joe Burrow would end up going out really early on with an injury. Hope he's okay. Hope he gets back healthy. Along with Shamar Stewart, their first-round pick, was also injured. But Jake Browning, again, rips the heart out of Jags fans for the second time. I knew once Joe Burrow went out, I was like, oh no, Joe Burrow's out. Dang it. And then I saw who their backup quarterback is and immediately got PTSD and was like, oh no, here we go again. Because if you guys remember 2023, I believe it was week 12, Jags face Cincinnati in a Monday night game. Jags were 8-3, fighting for number 1 seed in the playoffs. And they're hosting the Bengals and Jake Browning as their backup. Every Jags fan's like, oh, easy win, number 1 seed locked up, we're good to go. Instead, he puts on a Hall of Fame performance and destroys our defense, and they end up winning. And he threw with 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
He didn't play that good, but
Technically, we did 2. We did 2, but we did 3, but one didn't count. So
interceptions.
we also not 2.
Oh yeah. We'll get into Trevor's play soon. I got a lot to say about that. But yeah, Jake Browning does it again. Gosh, this game is so weird. It's so weird because I don't know who to blame. Why did the Jags lose? What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on this loss?
Well, I think from the start they looked really good. We got the ball. They got the ball back, and we got it right back because our defense was looking really good.
Yeah, early on, it was looking like the Jags were dominating. Just a few thoughts. The pass protection looked great. Trevor was clean all day besides the last, the second to last play of the game. Trey Anderson got a sack. And on Trevor's first interception, Trey Anderson got around. But he gets paid. They paid him for a reason. He's a top-tier pass rusher. He's going to get to the quarterback a few times a game. It just so happened that one caused a back-breaking interception, and the other was on, obviously, the last play of the game, which didn't really matter that much. But
yeah, I think 2 of the interceptions could have been easily touchdowns, and that's what's really hurts too.
Yeah, it's I could say that the Jags beat themselves in this game. I could say that, the Jags should have won this game, but they did this, and you can say that, but still, the Bengals made mistakes too.
Right.
The guy threw 3 picks, and then the last one, we get the pick. We're in the red zone. We're on the 11-yard line or something, and just kick the field goal, or run the ball or something, and you're up 6 points on the road. But I don't know if Liam Cohen got emotional in the moment with he was mad at Trevor for not hitting De'Ami Brown in the chest on a 2nd and 5 or something. And because of that, he was yelling at him, which I just don't like. Say what you will about Doug Peterson, but he was always cool, calm, and collected. When I see Liam Cohen screaming at Trevor for not hitting him in the chest, yeah, it could have been a good ball, but it was still a drop pass. It was right here. It was right here. Maybe it was a little high, but you paid De'Ami Brown $10 million for a reason, to catch the ball. And that was 2 passes. He had a good game, but he had 2 drop passes, one in the end zone and one there. So him yelling at Trevor like that and then showing so much emotion, and then I feel like that 4th down and 5 call was a total, you know what, you're staying on the field and you're getting that first down, just because I feel like it. Instead of staying calm, hey, what's the situation? We're on the road against a backup quarterback. Just take the points. We're up 6 points. Now they ended up scoring a touchdown anyways and beating us. But if you get the ball back with a few seconds left, you might have a shot for a Hail Mary field goal or something with our kicker. So with Cam Little. So I just feel like Liam Cohen, I think a little bit of blame is on him getting emotional at the end.
I think also Hunter I was very disappointed a little bit by how much, because we were going good, and then he got a flag that actually ended up not doing well for
Yeah,
us.
Travis Hunter was. I mean, he's
Multiple
still a
flags.
rookie. I think we're definitely seeing he's a rookie and he's gonna take some time to translate to the NFL. He did a few good things. It was cool seeing him on the field. You know, he had a lot of snaps on offense and defense, which we were expecting a lot more. But the problem was that when he was on the field, it wasn't the best. I mean, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are two of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So I understand it's a rookie corner going up against people like that, but still, I mean, you know, in a situation letting up like a 50-yard pass interference in that situation, you got to get your head around, and he'll learn that. He'll get better, but he
also when we were about to score, they kept throwing the ball. We were like, just run the ball, just run it. Why are you? Because they threw multiple interceptions at that point. They were just messing up, dropping the ball, whatever, and that's what happened. Every single throw, we were about to score, and instead of running the ball, they just kept throwing it and missing.
I agree. We were definitely very pass happy, especially in the red zone, because our run game was really well. I will say a few positives to take away from this game is that the offensive line and run game looks fantastic. I mean, Etienne, Tootin, even LaQuint Allen, all getting in there. Offensive line, they're getting push up front, getting great blocking on the edges for our running backs, and even the wide receivers on the edges as well. And then also pass protecting Trevor. Like I said, there was one sack in the game, came late in the game, but Trevor was clean most of the day. And so hats off to the offensive line and Liam Cohen's play calling on a lot of stuff and then running the ball. But when you get in the red zone, you just got to punch it in. And every time in the red zone, they just kept throwing the ball. Now, it did give Trevor 3 passing touchdowns on the day, which is good. But in those moments, I think at the time it might have been...
That's when we went 4th and down.
Yeah, no, it was before that we kicked the field goal. But we were right there, and we ended up, kicking the field goal instead. But we passed it like every single down on that drive, and it was like, you just run the ball. We're killing them up front. Just run the ball, and we got it. I really think this is a game that Jags should have won. I know I had the Bengals winning originally, but when you look at how the game flowed, not even take Burrow out of it. Take Joe Burrow out of it. Browning played, honestly, besides a few of the picks, played just as good. Honestly, you could have lied to me and said that was Joe Burrow back there, and I would have believed you because he was playing really well. To me, it's just like the Jags just kind of beat themselves. They, we started off really hot, had a good touchdown opening the drive, and then defense gets the ball right back, and then we're at the red zone, and we get some pressure on the outside. I know Trevor. He was feeling the pressure and stuff, but you can't just lob it up, right to the guy. And it's like, boom, all the momentum's on that side. So, stuff like that just kept happening all day.
And those flags, there were multiple.
Oh, my.
What were they called?
We had 5 illegal shift penalties.
Which I've never seen that many.
Very rare penalty to have, basically. And then I hate how they never really explain it in the podcast, or on the TV. They never explain it on the TV. They always just say, oh, illegal shift. Oh, yeah, they got to get better at that. But they never explain what the heck is an illegal shift. From what I know of it, it's just when the receivers or the players just aren't getting set, or there's multiple receivers in motion that's not allowed for some reason. So I don't know if that's Trevor snapping the ball too early or the receivers just not getting set in time, but that's got to stop because we had one drive where there was literally 3 illegal shifts in a row or in the same drive at least. And it was interesting because there wasn't a penalty until the second quarter of this game.
Yeah, no flags. We were very surprised. It was the first couple.
They were playing very disciplined, and it was really good to see. The first quarter and a half of this game, it was all Jags, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was writing down so many notes. Oh, Liam Cohen's in his bag, all this stuff, statement early on defense and all of that. But as the game went on, I think the Jags kind of showed their immaturity as a team. It's still a new team as far as new coach, a lot of new faces, new systems that we're getting used to. And the Bengals, even when their quarterback went down, didn't panic. Their backup came in and played perfectly fine, and even a little bit beyond for them to win the game. And their stars showed up. that's the thing, is that the Bengals stars showed up. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson. You know, when the moment needed it, when they needed it, they came up. I mean, T. Higgins with a crazy touchdown. Jamar Chase was just all over the field today. You know, and when the defense needed a stop, you know, they got a stop. That just shows the Bengals are more of a mature team and just maybe a better team than the Jags. Whereas the Jags felt like everything was just given to them. It was like, oh, here's another pick. Here's another pick. Oh, we're in the 20-yard line. We're on the 10-yard line. All we got to do is punch it in and we win the game. And then we just throw up all over ourselves and lose. So just a lot of thoughts. Very frustrating. I know Jags fans are probably furious at this game because this is a game you look back on, we should have won it. And even though a lot of people were saying, oh, we probably won't win this game, when you look at the game flow, how things turned out.
We were literally either above them or tied up until the last minute. Literally less than a minute.
And what's sad is at the end of the day, the Jags defense couldn't stop a backup quarterback when it mattered. And that's concerning. Say what you will. I mean, Jake Browning, maybe he could be a starter. I've only seen him in 2 games, and he's been like Tom Brady in those 2 games that I've seen him. So maybe he should be a starter. I don't know. Or maybe he just has the Jags number. But at the end of the day, they were backed up on their 15-yard line, and they needed a touchdown to win or a field goal to tie. And what happened? The defense just kind of let him have it and chew the clock up the whole time, too. It's like, if you're going to let him score, just let him score and then let us get the ball back and at least get a touchdown or something. Or give Trevor a chance at the end of the game instead of having 10 seconds left. But that's kind of my main takeaway. We can go so many ways with who to blame, why did the Jags lose, but at the end of the day, my main point is that our defense couldn't stop a backup quarterback at the end of the game. And that's sad. Let's get into a few more things here. I want to talk about Trevor because I feel like a lot of conversation is going to be on him this week. What do you think? What do you think about Trevor? How do you look?
I think Trevor had good moments and bad moments, but at the end of the day, we lost. So.
Well, yeah. So I feel like a lot of I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I will say I think some of his picks weren't his fault. I think people read it. Just like the picks on the other side. At the end of the day, if someone reads it, that's not really your fault.
Yeah, people are going to talk about the interceptions. 2 interceptions today. I'll go and give the stats. Trevor Lawrence, 25 of 43, 294 yards, almost got to 300, and 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And those 2 picks are kind of weird because the first one, Trevor obviously felt a lot of pressure on his left side. Walker Little got beat by Trey Hendrickson, as not crazy. He's a great player, but I just don't like what he did with the ball. It's like in that moment, either take the sack and get the 3 points, or at least get the ball out in front because it was an out route on Travis Hunter, and I don't know. Maybe Hunter ran the route a little wide. Maybe he should have flattened it out earlier so that maybe it wasn't so out there, but. Either way, I do think that that's the worst thing you could do in that situation is turn the ball over. At least take the 3 points. So I will say on that interception, it's like, okay, I'll blame Trevor because honestly, I thought we were over. I thought we were done with the end zone interceptions after obviously early on in his career, he did a lot of that where it was like, all right, we're on the 1-yard line. We're going to get points out of that. And then you would just throw it to the other team. It's like, oh, now we get no points. I thought we were done with that. I thought that was early career Trevor, but it's just kind of frustrating that it's like, that's the only thing you can't do there. And he's got the contract. He's making $55 a year. Liam Cohen's, I know it's a new system and everything. It could take some time. Hunter's a rookie, and our offensive line, had questions early on. But in that situation, you just can't do that.
I also thought that they did a lot of touchdowns that I didn't expect them to make. I always think, if they're in the red zone, there's no way. Because for so long, that's been the case.
That's so true. I was surprised they did convert a lot in the red zone.
So to even have 27 points as the Jags, I feel like that is really big for us.
That is one thing. We do look like a different team. That is definitely a good thing. That's why I'm going to say to all the Jags fans out there, don't panic. just because we lost to Jake Browning again doesn't mean the season's over. I was joking in the intro. But our offense does look different. I mean, they were marching.
Defense as well.
Defense too. Our offense was marching down the field the whole game basically. The only thing that was stopping the Jaguars' offense was the Jaguars' offense. Mm-hmm. You know, penalties, dropped passes, and interceptions were the only thing that stopped the Jags' defense all day.
I'm worried about BTJ. This game and the last game is the worst I think I've seen him.
Yeah, I am officially a little concerned about Brian Thomas Jr. That 4th and 5 play, if he catches that ball and just falls over, that's a first down, and the Jags win the game.
He's a good player. We know he's a good player.
We know he's good, but there's been a lot of talk in camp that he didn't have the best camp coming out. He's dropping a lot of passes in practice. But everyone said, oh, well, that's okay. He's a gamer. When the lights turn on, he's going to show up and he's going to play. And it's not that he had a terrible game. Let me look at the receiving yards. 4 for 49. You know, that's like an average game for him. But it's more of like the drop. I think he had maybe 2 more drops this game. And then when it mattered the most on the 4th and 5, he dropped that ball over the middle. And it hit him right in the face. I mean, there's no excuse. You got to catch that ball. If you want to be an elite receiver, if you want to be a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson, you got to catch those balls. And he just, it's very mature. Yeah, I am a little bit concerned with BTJ on how he looked on that. It's just, you know, I think he'll get better. Him and Trevor's connection, I think, will continue to grow.
I really love how they use their offense a lot more. For example, Washington, Strange, like there's Brown, like there's so many people. ETN, they're actually throwing the ball to more variety of people, and we have so many people we can rely on.
That is the thing. And I'll say, hey, my X factor, Parker Washington, actually did come through. 6 receptions for 81 yards. And the reason why I thought that was because I thought they were going to use Hunter a lot more on defense, which they did, and that would just open up Parker Washington more snaps, and he would just get the ball more. I didn't expect that, though. 81 receptions, and he made some really great plays. I think, honestly, he's earned a starting role. I think, honestly, at this point, I would rather see Hunter a little bit more on defense and give Parker Washington and De'Ami Brown more chances to shine. Because De'Ami Brown, you know, aside from the dropped touchdown and that dropped 3rd down at the last possession, played a really good game, and he's been a really good surprise. 5 receptions for 57 yards and a touchdown. It's just, we got to be more clutch than that. Yeah. When the game's on the line, I'll honestly say, like, getting back to Trevor Lawrence, I think he played well enough to win. Given the interceptions, I think he played good enough to win the game. He made throws when they needed to be made, and the receivers let him down a little bit. I think the play calling at the very end let him down a little bit. I think Liam Cohen being a little too emotional. And yes, he's made a few mistakes. And the second interception, I don't know if that was on him or BTJ. It looked like Brian Thomas Jr. like maybe felt the middle of the field, the rushers coming at him a little bit, and alligator armed it instead of just extending and catching the ball. And the ball got tipped in intercepted. So I don't really put all of that on Trevor. And Trevor did look pretty pissed at that. So I could tell maybe it was like that wasn't totally his fault. But I think I am at the point with Trevor Lawrence. It's still early on, but this is year 5. He's paid. I think I'm starting to accept that Trevor is very talented and is a good quarterback, but he's not going to be like elite. Yeah. You know, if he can't stop turning the ball over. You know, it's almost giving me Jameis Winston vibes. I don't know if you know who Jameis Winston is, but he's known. He threw in a season 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. So he was literally the king of one play would like do this amazing pass and like triple coverage and like thread the needle and like a great play, one of the best throws you've ever seen, and then on the very next play, like terrible interception. Trevor's almost getting to that where it's like you play really well, but then have like 3 or 4 just absolute bonehead mistakes that could end up costing us. So it's just,
I think he does have a lot of potential, but it doesn't really matter if he's not using it. You know, you gotta see your weaknesses, see your strengths. and use those to help the team.
Yeah, so it's like I'm almost okay at this point with Liam Cohen's offense, just relegating Trevor to kind of a game manager role. Just get the offense, and he's doing well at that, getting the offense in the right play at the right position, and just making that correct throw at the right time, but not doing too much. Whenever I see Trevor trying to play hero ball and do way too much, and like, oh, I'm gonna throw it way downfield because he's so talented, he thinks he can, and he can, but then he'll end up just either airmailing it or throwing an interception. I'd almost like no, just take the safe, just take the 10-yard pass right there, hand the ball off, run the ball. At one point he could have ran the ball in for a touchdown. Instead he threw it to BTJ and he dropped it, or it was out of the back of the end zone. But it's like I'm almost at the point with Trevor. It's like just stop, like just slow down, take what's given to you, and stop trying to do too much, because though the interceptions today aren't necessarily all of his fault, it's still just a little concerning. And some of the, like, obviously when he threw the ball and he was like 5 yards over the line, like what are you doing? That was like I was like, Trevor, are you okay? Do you need do you need some water or something? Are you okay?
I noticed,
what's going on?
Some of his throws were over a lot, and the people had to like catch.
Yeah, like
had
go
to literally
over the
jump
head or
to catch.
something. Yeah. He does airmail the ball a little bit, and obviously that's what Liam Cohen got really mad at Trevor for on the on that when he was saying hit him in the chest, which I get it's very frustrating, but I don't like him just showing all. I get he wants to win, and I want to win too, and I was showing a lot of emotion as well. But as the head coach, you need to kind of calm down a little bit and just get on to the next play instead of yelling at your quarterback. Instead of hitting him in the head, or instead of hitting him in the chest, you hit him in the head. It's like, okay, the receiver should still catch the ball, But so anyway, that's my thoughts on Trevor Lawrence. I'm sure a lot of people are going to come out from away this game and said, "Oh, Jake Browning beat Trevor Lawrence. Trevor's trash, and the Jags are trash for losing to a backup quarterback." I feel like that's going to be like kind of the narrative of this game. But if you watch the game, the Bengals are still a good team. I don't care who's freaking back there at quarterback. They got two of the best wide receivers in the league who just make plays, and they show up in the right moments, and that's basically what happened. As far as this defense. Before the season, I kind of said that this defense is boom or bust. Either they're going to be really good or they're going to be really bad. And today, I literally saw both. I saw great interceptions, great stops, some really great plays out of the defense. But at the same time, I saw them just getting shredded by Jake Browning again. And so I just don't know what to say. I think Campanelli's doing great. I wish he would blitz a little bit less, especially when it comes to teams like the Bengals where they just have such good wide receivers. It's like, no. You need all the people in the back as you can get. Just rush with 4. Their O-line's not that good. And make Jake Browning, read the defense and beat you with his arm. And let our pass rushers, do what they're paid to do. But instead, I see a lot of blitzing, and all that does is just allow T. Higgins over the top. Or press man. You cannot play press man-to-man coverage with these wide receivers, and I saw that way too much. I'm not out on Travis Hunter. He's still really early on, but a lot of analysts keep saying this narrative that Travis Hunter needs to stick to one side of the ball because he's not going to be. He has the talent to be great at one position or average at the other, just because it's so hard to play in the league. And it's still early on, but it's almost like I kind of get it because what I saw today from Travis Hunter on offense and defense was fairly average. We'll look at his stats really quick. Travis Hunter, 3 catches for 22 yards. That's wide receiver 4 numbers. And meanwhile, on defense, he had a few good plays, a few good tackles, But then I also saw him getting beat. I also saw him playing very soft zone and just letting the receiver just catch the ball right in front of him, and then he has to come make the tackle. Just, okay, all right. I get we traded up to the number 2 pick in the draft to get this guy, but the question needs to be, are we maximizing his talent? can he actually keep up with wide receivers in this league, or does he need to choose one side of the ball? It's still some time, still need to see how he does, but today was definitely not maybe the best day for Travis Hunter, and I could definitely see that narrative around the league definitely getting an uptick of, oh, the Jags need to make him choose one side of the ball because he's not doing well on both.
I think it is a very sad loss. I think a lot of people expect them to lose, but at the same time, I am still really proud of the Jags.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if they were the same team as last year, they probably would have lost by a lot more. And to even hold their own to a team that is very good and considered good, I'm still pretty proud of the Jags. And I think they have so much more potential as now that they know, okay, Hunter's gotten multiple flags. What can we do for, obviously next week is like a really big game for us, a really big comeback game. So, I think these are still the first couple of games.
Yeah, this next week is huge.
So just to see, like last week we had how many flags just in the beginning?
Yeah.
To now how many flags do we have? Like besides the illegal shift.
Well, we started out great, but I think there's still a lot they need to work on. Yeah. And I agree, they look better as a team, especially on offense. They do look better. The defense, has their moments. Has their moments. But next week's huge. For Texans at home, they're playing the throwbacks.
Yeah.
Hey, we're in the throwbacks. Trevor Lawrence revenge game. Gotta have next week. Next week, in my opinion, is the most important game of the season, and I'll highlight that a lot on my preview video coming out soon. Jags 27, Bengals 31. Just a very heartbreaking loss with how it happened.
It definitely could have been a win if we
easily could have been a win if just a few plays they just not be so unclutch. And that's the word I'm going to say. The Jags are unclutch right now. It's like you're right there. Just get the first down or kick the field goal and you win the game. And I thought the defense played a little clutch with the interception. When Devin Lloyd got that interception, I thought the game was over. I thought, oh, thank God, Jags survive a win. We're good. 2-0, which would be crazy. Would have been crazy to start the year. But instead, our offense just doesn't play complementary football, gets stopped on fourth down, and then it allows the Bengals to win the game. Especially away, when you're on the road, you got to take the points when you can get them. So a few times, and I think there was a 4th and 2 earlier on in the game that they didn't go for. Like the drive before that, it was 4th and 2 around midfield, which is like Liam Cohen, I feel like, would always go for that, but he punted on that. But then on the 4th and 5 at the 10-yard line, he went for it. So it's like, okay, it's the first time. It's the game 2, but it's the first time I'm like, okay, Liam Cohen, that was a loss. That a little bit of that is on you. As good as his offensive game plan was, which was amazing, I will say, the game management at the end, that's a rookie head coach. First time doing head coach things, being a little too emotional, having too much confidence in your plays. Remember, it's players over plays, as he's preached. So it's like, don't think, oh, I got this play. Just think what's going to do best for my players to win. And I think in that moment he failed a little bit. Now I'm curious to see what he talks about after the game. I'm sure he's going to be asked about that. There's going to be a lot of questions. Oh, is Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, are they have a bad relationship? But I don't know. We'll see. A few more positives about this game. Bashal Tutin looks great. Number 33, running back. I think they really got a really good player there. He already looks better than Tank Bigsby ever did. I'm going to be honest. Just the way he runs so much with power. I didn't think he was that powerful of a runner. But that was the thing with Bigsby. It was like, oh, Bigsby's that guy who you run between the tackles. So we need a few yards, get Bigsby in there, and he's going to power forward and get through. But Tank's doing that really well, and so is ETN as well.
Yeah.
I really like our 3 running backs. I think I like how versatile they are. They can all do different things. They can all do kind of the same thing. They can catch the ball in the backfield. They can run, between the tackles. They can run outside. They can all pass protect, especially with Quinn Allen. So I really liked that.
The interceptions as well, really good.
Yeah, the defense are getting turnovers. I mean, they had 3 last week and 3 this week. They're already the year before they had 8 turnovers overall. They already have 6 in the first 2 games. Obviously it was a backup quarterback throwing them those balls, but it's good to see just the defense just catching those balls. Last year they didn't catch those balls. I don't know why. They just would always drop them. They would always drop them. But this year they're actually catching them. So Devin Lloyd, obviously, if they win the game, I think that is the play of the game for Devin Lloyd. That catch over the middle.
That was beautiful, yeah.
That was a great catch. Given what I did say about Liam Cohen, I still think his offense is really good. I love seeing all the blockers down the field. The offense was driving on them the whole game. Next week's going to be a tougher task against the Texans, but I think his offense is really good. I'm really looking forward to more that he brings out. I know that people are going to be all on Trevor for the throwing the ball over the line of scrimmage. I get what he was trying to do. He saw pass interference down the field, and so he thought at the last minute, let me throw it and get the PI penalty so it'll offset the holding penalty or make another illegal shift. But I didn't even know that rule either. Is if you're about past the line of scrimmage, you throw the ball, like pass interference doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Maybe he didn't know that either, and so that's why he threw the ball. But I just know that's going to be memed. I know there's going to be a lot of people like, Trevor Lawrence sucks. What is he doing? And it's going to be that like post. Like he's going to be like the new Daniel Jones or something. Like a quarterback just gets memed on. So I'm a little worried about that. Like I said, I think Trevor actually played pretty good despite what the narrative is going to be. Just had like 3 or 4 bonehead mistakes. I think he'll be okay though. It just sucks that we couldn't get the ball back with a little more time at the end. I think if the Jags get the ball back with a minute left and like 1 timeout, I think they could have won the game. I think so, but obviously didn't work out that way. Let's get to our players of the game. Offensive player of the game. Who do you think?
Mine was Tootin.
Tootin? Yeah, he played really well. He got his first touchdown. That move he made on the linebacker to get in the end zone was awesome. I'm excited about him, and I really liked how they split the carries. Travis Etienne, 14 carries for 71 yards, and Bashal Tootin, 8 carries for 42. So both about 5 yards a carry, which is really good. So I really like that as well. That's a good call. I am actually going to go with my X Factor, Parker Washington. I think, last week I had Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to, just because of the few bonehead decisions, I'm not going to put him as player of the game. But I think what Parker Washington proved is that he can actually be a really solid 2 or 3 receiver. I think he gives the Jags a lot of freedom to use Hunter in different ways. If Parker Washington can be good and I think he's earned a starting role next week against the Texans. I think Jags' first team offense, if Hunter isn't out there, I think Washington should be out there. Him and Brown and Thomas. And I think he did really well. Obviously 6 receptions, 81 yards, 13.5 a reception with that big 40-yard one that really set us up early in the game. So yeah, I'm going Parker Washington. I'm excited about him for more this year. And then defensive player of the game, I'm going Devin Lloyd just for that. That play was incredible. That was like he looked like a wide receiver in that number 0. He looked like Calvin Ridley out there catching that ball. So I'm gonna say him just for that really nice play. What about you?
Since you picked Lloyd, I'll probably pick the guy who did the interception before him.
Oh, Wingard? Yeah, he had a really good play as well. Wingard. That's the second week in a row he's gotten his hand on a few balls.
But yeah, right now it's 1-1, right? So we gotta win, we gotta lose. We know both sides how it feels as a team. So it's like, okay, now how are they gonna perform after this? This is really we lost one, we won one. How are we gonna do after?
Yeah, this is a really good test because the Jags lost an away game that a lot of people are gonna say they should have won. Not that anyone had them winning before, but I think given the game, when you see what happened, people are going to question, like, what the heck? How did the Jaguars lose this game? Burrow went out, in the first quarter.
Well, at the end of the day, people just think Jags suck. So
yeah. Well, this is going to, people are going to be a little lower on the Jags now. And this is a good test for Liam Cohen to see, okay, how do you respond?
Mm-hmm.
How do you respond after losing a game you should have won away? Now you're coming at home against a division rival who they play the Bucs tomorrow, so we'll see how they do. So I'm excited to see that game. I'm really hyped for that game. The Jags, I think they need to win that game. If they have any hope for the season, they need to win that game. So is the season over? No, it's not. It's not over. But we're still the Jacksonville Jaguars, unfortunately. And this is a game that a mature and well-coached and well-managed team like the Bengals wins despite the loss of their quarterback. And this is a game that an immature team who is still learning how to win, learning how to, play this game well. This is a game that they lose. And unfortunately, the Jaguars lost today. Definitely a heartbreaker, but we'll see how it goes. I had them losing this game early on, so they still have a lot to go. We'll see how they play the Texans next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got about this game. It sucks the Jags lost, but hey, it was a good game. And as Jags fans, all we can ask for is good games sometimes after the years.
There are definitely some highlights in the game that were just really, really good. I'm really proud of them.
Yeah, me too. I we'll see how they respond at home. We're gonna be wearing their throwbacks next week, so that's gonna be fun. And I just want them to beat the Texans so bad, so bad. I said early on in the year, if the Jags go 1-16, I want their one win to at least beat the Texans at home. So if they lose next week, I might be out on the season, but at least we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But hey, thanks for watching. This is Jags Japan. This is my girlfriend Megan. She has a great channel as well. Check her out. And we're doing post-game shows every week this season. I'll be doing a preview Tuesday or Wednesday. I try to get it out a little earlier this week. And I also do some other videos as well. So check those out if you want. But that's week 2. Is the season over? No, but that sucked.
Go Jags.
Go Jags. Duval. See you later.